Hey guys, Grandy Tamias here, and today I'll be sharing my preconceptions and later my first thoughts for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, I'm recording this a couple days in advance of when I actually plan to see the movie so that I can give myself time to set up the editing. I'll also be abstaining from using Twitter or YouTube just so that I don't get spoiled. So what I'll be doing for the first half of this video is sharing my expectations, and in some sense the lack thereof, as well as my predictions for what I think is going to happen in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Then, as soon as I'm done watching the movie, like right as I get out of the theater, I'm going to go to my car and record my first thoughts. This entire video is going to be spoiler-free, but I will be making a full-on spoiler-filled review about a week after the movie comes out, or at least once I have a chance to see it a second time. So with that out of the way, let's start with the preconceptions. So from what I know about this movie so far, Sonic is going to be home alone while Tom and Maddie go to a wedding in Hawaii for Maddie's sister, Rachel. Dr. Robotnik is going to arrive with Knuckles to attack Sonic for some reason, I'm guessing probably just revenge, and then later Sonic will be called to action to team up with Tails to go on treasure hunts for, I'm guessing, the Chaos Emeralds, but we've only seen that one emerald in the trailer. I really don't see them going after all 7 Chaos Emeralds as, well, that would kind of require a Marvel Cinematic Universe kind of situation where they set up all the Infinity Stones. And I'm guessing that the final battle will take place in Green Hills against the Death Egg robot, which, after my last Sonic movie news video, I thought about it a little more, and I think I figured out why it looks like a giant Eggman. Because in the games, they say that the Chaos Emeralds change thoughts into power, and, well, Dr. Robotnik is being powered up by the green Chaos Emerald or Master Emerald or whatever it is in the trailer, and he uses it to dismantle a helicopter, and I'm guessing that's how he gets the parts to make the Death Egg robot, and why it looks like in his image, because, well, he's crazy now. He probably spent a whole lot of time on the Mushroom Planet and was probably going insane. So that's just what I'm getting from all the trailers that I've seen so far. I know that there have been a couple of other TV spots and clips released since the last trailer, but I've been avoiding those because I want to see as much fresh footage as possible. As for stuff that I think they're hiding, I'm guessing they're hiding whether or not Longclaw is still alive. I know that was a big question generated by the last film, and I'm pretty confident that she's alive. If not, I think they're going to need a really good reason to explain that. Some of the most common arguments I've heard supporting that she did die are that the echidnas were very close to reaching her in the first movie before the portal disappeared. And there's also a deleted scene from the first movie showing Longclaw escaping to Earth with Sonic, and they live out many years on Earth in the woods, until eventually Longclaw passes away. So by the time of the first or second movie, Longclaw would be very old and probably die of old age. Honestly, I think that they should have kept this sequence, just with Sonic being redesigned, of course, because it's really emotional, and I think it really would have driven the point of Sonic's loneliness in the first movie. But with all the owl imagery that we see in the temples and the trailers, I'm guessing that Longclaw will probably be seen in some way, shape, or form. Maybe her voice is heard, or maybe in some flashback vision sequence. But I'm really curious, since Longclaw appears to come from a culture of owls that had a connection to the Master Emerald, well, why is Longclaw seen alone in the first movie, like there are no other owls? Maybe it has something to do with the echidnas, maybe Pachacamac and his clan wiped them all out. And that's another thing I want to talk about, the echidnas, because in the marketing for the first Sonic movie, there were a lot of TV spots that showed the echidnas, and we haven't seen any echidnas besides Knuckles in all the trailers and TV spots for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Who knows, maybe like with Longclaw, they're keeping the echidnas out of the marketing in case there's some sort of surprise backstory. Maybe it'll even be the beginning of the movie, because there are a lot of movies where they show something that happened in ancient times and then cut to modern day. And usually for movies that are based on a pre-existing property, they use sequences like that as an opportunity to shove as many things from the source material as they can, kind of like the Cybertron intro sequence from the Bumblebee movie. So maybe that, but with the echidnas from Sonic Adventure, I could totally see that happening. As for my other theories, I'm having my doubts that Shadow or Metal Sonic will even so much as be teased, because, well, especially in the case of Shadow, I think the cast would have to be a lot larger before they start introducing him, because right now we only have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Having Shadow as the immediate next character that's introduced after that, I just don't think would work. I mean, we don't even have female characters like Amy yet, so going straight to Shadow, I think would probably be the wrong move. With Metal Sonic, it seems slightly more possible, but I'm surprised Dr. Robotnik hasn't already done that with the quill that he has. And my theory about Dr. Robotnik being trapped in the Devonian period, I'm just going to throw out. I think that's really unlikely at this point. I mean, depending on how much more of the Mushroom Planet that they explain in the movie, maybe, who knows, maybe they could retcon it later down the line. But I'm also thinking that the Mushroom Planet's importance to the Sonic movie universe will probably be ended at this film. I don't see them ever going back there for any purpose. Overall, I'm expecting this movie to have some good action sequences and memorable lines to quote, very humorous ones at that, and I think it's going to be at least as good as the first one. Not much more to say other than I'm trying not to think too hard about the lore implications, and I'm trying to clear my mind in case the movie wants to surprise us with that. Oh wait, I have 3 more predictions. One, we're going to get a Ugandan Knuckles reference. Either Crazy Carl is going to draw a picture of Knuckles, kind of like he did with Sonic in the first movie. Either that, or maybe Knuckles is just casually going to ask, "Do you know the way to the..." And then, well, the entire audience is going to cheer. I also predict that we're going to hear the Labyrinth Zone drowning music. And finally, I predict that we're going to hear a more cinematic version of the Emerald Hill Zone theme, because we got that in the first title card reveal for the movie. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to wait a few days, and I'll be back with my first thoughts. Okay, guys, I just got out of the theater, and damn, the movie was so good. Like, oh, there are so many little references to the games that you guys are just going to gush over, and I was squealing several times in happiness. And the jokes... some of the jokes ran on a bit too long, but otherwise I think the humor was really great. Like, I laughed several times. There were a couple changes made to the lore from the games, and, well, I was still all for it, even though I think that there are some limitations that are going to be coming up, like, eventually as this movie series continues. Oh, and speaking of it continuing, the way the first movie ended, like, with the sequel setup, yeah, the second movie, at least in regards to, like, the main heroes, it doesn't really give as big of a sequel setup, but, yeah, there is a sequel setup. I'm not going to explain how, because it is so awesome, and my entire theater cheered at the moment. It's in the mid-credits scene. Some of the predictions I made earlier in the video were, some came true, I'm not going to say which ones, and some were just flat out wrong. But one of my theory videos, again, I'm not saying which one, ended up being completely right. Oh, and Knuckles. Knuckles was probably my favorite aspect about the whole movie. They got his characterization really right, like with him being gullible but not stupid. Though, given how the movie ends, I'm not sure how they're gonna make that series, like, with him alone as the star, like, without Sonic. Assuming that Sonic's not gonna be in the show. I mean, maybe he might be, like, a cameo in one episode or something. Anyways, I'm going to have a whole bunch of theory videos to make, and I got another showing of this thing to go to tomorrow, so, yeah, I'll be trying to analyze it more, and, yeah, come up with a proper review. So, anyway, thank you all for tuning in to watch. If you have seen the movie yet, please do not post spoilers in the comments, because trust me, you guys will want to be surprised. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to help the channel grow. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter and Discord. Links are in the description. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day, and thank you for your time.